with the release of Project Epoch just around the corner, today we're going to answer the question, is Priest worth trying out on Epoch? I myself am still struggling to make a class choice, so this series will help me dive deep into all the changes Epoch made to the classes and see if Priest is any good though. So let's dive right in. So the very first thing changed in Priests we can see here is the addition of a cosmetic thing, a holy water, which you can recognize from the Stratholm, for example. This will allow us to actually change a simple drink that you use during your mana regen to change it into a holy water that can be used against the undead to deal massive damage. Very nice thematic addition that can be very useful in things like Stratholm or Scholomance. Second thing is that overall there have been changes made to the Holy Smite playstyle, which makes you like an offensive holy caster. We can get later down the line into the details, but the overall premise is that it's not viable endgame, more of a like leveling or fooling around spec, so just keep that in mind. Another thing is that there are two new races for priests available, which is a Tauren Gnome and a Gnome, which means that there are more racial knowledge possibilities for the priests. Every race has a separate combo of spells available for the priests, so with additional two races we will have a pretty big pool to choose from. As usual, we've got the right weight effects for our buffs, and that would be it for the general stuff, so let's take a look at the spellbook. When it comes down to discipline, Divine Spirit has been made baseline, but a slightly weaker version, with possibility to buff it up through the talent tree. Fear Ward has also been made baseline, and not a dwarven ability, so it's always nice to have in here. Mass Dispel is an addition from TBC, although it does say that it has been updated, but to be fair, I don't see any significant changes in here. Maybe there was like a change in mana cost or the target amount, so I'm not entirely sure about it. But yeah, Mass Dispel still possible to remove very potent magic effects like Divine Shield or Ice Block, for example, so very useful for our toolkit. There have been some switches in the talent tree. Pain Suppression has went down to the lower tier, and the capstone of the discipline is Power Word Barrier, which requires us to channel this spell constantly, but then we are able to absorb quite a lot of incoming damage, which is being increased by up to 250% when affecting a large group. So in raids, this is going to be more potent simply. Very cool touch and stuff, just to create like a thematic barrier thing for the priests, so very welcome change. As for the tree, not so many changes, but like I mentioned before, Pain Suppression has been moved to tier number 5, and our Ward Barrier is the capstone. Otherwise, we've got some focused will from the TBC, Reflective Shield. I think it was also added in TBC, can't remember exactly now. But yeah, Enlightenment, more stats for the priest, of course. Otherwise, pretty standard stuff. And the very funny thing is that whatever kind of priest you kind of plan to play, there's one very nice build to start off with where you go into 5 Spirit Tap, and then you pick up 1 specialization for more wound damage, improved Power Shield for more survivability, Power Fortitude to buff our massive Fortitude buff, and pick up Meditation to allow 30% of mana regen to continue while casting. This, connected with Spirit Tap, will basically allow us to have almost infinite mana while leveling, so very good stuff. And if you want to play Shadow, you can just follow this route, pick up Shadow Ward Pain, Blackout, some Mind Flay, improve Psychic Scream, if you want to go for PvP, just to be able to pick up Silence, and just later down the line up to Vampiric Touch. Very cool build to level, and then on level 40, well, earlier, and on Epoch, you can just switch it up and go for Shadow 4 and then replace Wounding with Mind Flay, so there are some possibilities in there. Okay, then we go into Holy. We've got Binding Heal as a new TBC toy, which allows us to heal ourselves and one target ally. Bless Water, this is the thing that we mentioned before that is working against undead, which is great. Circle of Healing, which is a capstone. Amazing AoE heal that is instant cast, so you don't need anything else added, because I've seen into the other healers that they were receiving some AoE stuff. Lightwell has been updated, so now it doesn't break off any damage, but only direct damage. So if you are fighting the bosses and you click the Lightwell, you get a massive healing and still have a dot on you. It's not going to break it. So amazing change, because sometimes, you know, you got it broken by some random damage. Holy Fire is updated because it received increased spell power coefficient, so it will be scaling a little bit better, which doesn't matter that much during leveling, because especially early on we don't get that much spell power stuff, but still it has been made more powerful, and the dot lasts actually 16 seconds. I'm pretty sure in Wrath it was like 8 or 10, but it's definitely longer, so more damage is always nice to see. And Smite also has been updated. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was just some mana reduction just to allow us to simply sustain ourselves a little bit more with the mana. Prayer of Mending, another amazing TBC spell. There's instant cast and jumps between our party members that are being hit at that moment. So it's also a smart heal, so it will jump onto the lower health pool targets, which is simply great. Also, if I remember correctly, Holy Nova had to be talented previously in Classic, so now in TBC this is a baseline spell, which is nice to have. Oh no, sorry, I looked wrong, it's actually a talent, so my bad, sorry. You can obtain it at level 20. As we can see here, Holy Nova requires 10 points in Holy Talents. So not many changes in here. We got Circle of Healing as a capstone, Holy Concentration, Blessed Resilience, but those are like, this is like a more PvP talent. And of course, more scaling for our heals. But most importantly, Searing Light has been moved, so now we get those damage modifiers higher. And quite important for the Smiting Priest is Surge of Light, because anytime we cast a spell and it gets critical, we get 50% chance to cause next smite to be instant. So very nice for healing, but we also need quite a lot of spell crit. Thankfully, Holy Specialization increases the crit chance effect of our holy spells, so this fixes our problems a little bit. But yeah, stacking intellect and getting as much crit as possible will definitely be a way to go. And as for Shadow, unfortunately we don't get absolutely no new things in here. Of course we got Shadow Fiend, but this is a TBC thing, so it will just attack our target and regenerate mana for us. But otherwise, nothing really new. Shadow Word Death, of course, is also added in TBC, which is an execute spell for us. So unless the scaling and spell coefficient for those abilities has been changed in Shadow, we're still should be just a support class for the moment. Mana Battery for Vampiric Touch, and it only, due to all the changes to the raid-wide buffs, Vampiric Touch still stands as a party member, so it only works in a 5-man dungeons and stuff like that. In raids, you would have to put a separate Shadow Priest, which will thankfully allow us to take a raiding spot in case we need it, because otherwise I don't really think that the damage will be anything amazing, especially at the start, unless the tier sets will change something. But for the moment, not many changes in here. Like I mentioned before, you can level 2 ways, probably in Holy as a pure caster, not so much wanding, just, you know, Holy Fire into smites. Some of those maybe even like free in instant, so it's a very nice playstyle, very active when those procs pop up. Otherwise, just pick up Spirit Tab, get those mandatory talents from Discipline up to the Meditation, so we get more mana regen, and then just follow the road down to Shadow and you're going to be good to go. You will get some nice survivability, more damage from wands, mana regen, anything you would want to have from one single discipline tree up to level 15. So, and then you just crank up the damage and some CC from Shadow and you're good to go. I think that spec actually would be really hard to deal with in PvP at lower levels. So yeah, priests are amazing in PvP overall, but with resilience added and stuff like that, we could have some problems on level 60, but we're yet to see overall, I love Shadow Priests, and it's kind of bummer for me that they didn't receive anything cool or even anything of significance. Like, those changes were so small that we don't even notice them. So that's kind of a shame for me, but still, we will see how the numbers are going to dish out within the first weeks. So that will be it, guys, when it comes down to Priest. I hope it's going to help you picking up the main class for the project Epoch. Don't forget to check out all the class overviews on my channel if you're interested and you're still looking for the main. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one then. Take care, bye bye.